Good morning to all. In the today's lecture of theory of computation, we are discussing the NFA, that is nothing but the non-deterministic finite automata, and we discuss about NFA conversion to NFA with epsilon moves to NFA without epsilon moves, then NFA without epsilon moves to DFA, that is deterministic finite automata, and now we have to discuss about conversion of NFA with epsilon moves to deterministic finite automata. Right. So as already we have discussed about these first two concepts, that is conversion of NFA with epsilon moves to NFA without epsilon moves. That already we have discussed about this. The methodologies, how to convert the NFA with epsilon moves. We have to find out the E closure, and then how to convert this NFA with epsilon to without epsilon. Right. Then in the conversion of NFA without epsilon moves means nothing but it is your simple NFA. We need to convert this NFA to DFA, deterministic finite automata. So which are the things changing there, that also we have discussed. So if NFA, if the automata is defined by M, then in DFA automata defined by M dash. So the definition of M is nothing but Q sigma delta Q0 and F. Here also you have Q dash sigma delta dash, then Q0 dash F dash, meaning is that the only entity remains same is nothing but your input alphabet, and rest of all the things are going to change while converting your NFA with epsilon moves to the DFA, right? From the definition point of view already that we have discussed. We have also discussed the examples on this particular topic. It is already covered. Now conversion of NFA with epsilon moves to DFA, right? Non-deterministic finite automata, as you know that it is nothing but a non-determinism is there, multiple transitions on a single input from a single current state, from the current state to the multiple next states. It is possible in case of your NFA, and with epsilon moves meaning is that there is the transition from epsilon input, means there is no input at all, but still there is a transition from current state to the next state, means yes, there is a state change from the current state to the next state. If this is the scenario, and if this is the scenario, if this is the NFA with E moves, then how to convert this epsilon with epsilon, this NFA with E moves to deterministic finite automata, that we are going to see in the today's session. Conversion of NFA with epsilon moves to DFA. So see the methodology. Step by step we'll see it. First convert NFA with epsilon moves to NFA without epsilon moves, because already we have discussed this, how to convert the NFA with epsilon moves to NFA without epsilon moves. This is the first step. Then the NFA without epsilon moves can be converted to equivalent DFA. That is ultimately, you know it, how to convert this NFA without epsilon moves. That means it is a plain NFA, and it is the easier way to convert this plain NFA into DFA. Consider NFA with epsilon moves. The definition: M defined with the tuple M Q sigma delta Q0 F, where delta, that is nothing but the transition function, is defined as Q into sigma union epsilon, because now it is nothing but E moves are involved here. That's why it is taken into consideration with the input alphabet, that is union, that gives you the next state, and it is nothing but the power of 2, means there are suppose if there are 2 states, then definitely the next states will be 2:2, that is total number of states are 4, right? That if suppose there are only Q0 and Q1 states are there, then you can have Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, or you can have 4 number of states are possible. In that particular case, NFA with epsilon moves. So yeah, we can call it as a ENFA, NFA with epsilon moves. Now this ENFA, we have to convert it into the DFA, and the DFA, it is denoted by MD. DFA automata, it is defined, or it is denoted by the tuple M to the suffix D, that is equal to QD, means it is nothing but again set of states. Sigma is nothing but the input alphabet, delta is nothing but the transition function, Q0 is nothing but the start state, and FD is nothing but the set of final state. So here, see here how which parameters are going to change here. Here you are mentioning in case of ENFA, it is Q. Now this Q is changed to QD, means you have to find out the set of states for the resultant DFA. Now here delta is given. Now this delta you need to convert into delta D, means this is the transition function for the DFA, resultant DFA. Q0, yes, start state remains same here, but final state F is given in NFA. That F is now converted into FD. So that is not, this is nothing but the final state for the resultant DFA. The parameter remains same, is nothing but your sigma. Again, sigma is nothing but the input alphabet. You have 0, 1, or you may have AB. The same input will be here, that is AB or 0, 1, and you have E, epsilon production, but this epsilon production is absolutely removed here. There is no question about the epsilon production in case of your DFA, deterministic finite automata. First obtain E closure of each state and start. So first point, always start with the start state. That's why I have bold, make it a bold here. Always start with the start state. So NFA, ENFA is given to you in a problem. So first step is that you have to obtain the E closure of all states. E closure. Suppose there are state Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3. Whatever may be the steps given in a ENFA, that is a NFA with epsilon modes. First, find out their E closures. That is the first step. Second step is that always start with the E closure of the start state. So what is the E closure of Q0? Q0 is by default, for example, initial state or the start state. So always you have to start always with the start state. This is the second step. Next step is that obtain the delta transitions for each E closure on each input symbol. Now, for all, in first step, you have calculated the E closure of for all the states. What you have to do here, you have to find out the delta transitions for each E closure. Remember this point. You have to find out the delta transitions for each E closure on each input. In each input means either it is 0, 1, or it can be A, B. For you have to take E closure, you have to find out the delta transition for E closure of Q0, E closure of Q1, epsilon closure of Q2, epsilon closure of Q3, etc., etc., etc. How many states are there? You have to first find out their E closure, and then you have to find out their delta transitions, right, on each input symbol, on 0 as well as on 1, or on A, or it may be B. The states containing the final state become the final state in DFAs. For example, in your NFA, suppose Q1 is the final state. For example, in NFA, Q1 is the final state. So in DFA, while calculating or while solving these transitions, while finding out the delta transition, it may happen that so Q1 comes with Q0, so this becomes your final state also. So wherever, earlier also we have discussed this, wherever there is appearance of the final state Q0, so all these states are marked as a final state, right? So this is a methodology. So first find out the E closure, start with the start state or the initial state, then obtain the delta transitions for each E closure of each state on each input symbol, and the state containing the final state becomes the final state in DFA, right? So let us directly start with the example so that it will become more clear to you. So NFA with epsilon mu is given here. Convert the given NFA with epsilon to its equivalent DFA. First example, step 1. So step 1 says that find out the E closure of each state. You have to find out the epsilon closure of state Q0. So how many states are there? So E closure Q0 is there. Then Q1 and Q2 E closure. You know that how to find out the epsilon closure. Epsilon closure contains the state itself and the E transitions from that particular state. It is nothing but your E closure of that particular state. So E closure of Q0 is nothing but your Q0, the state itself. Then from Q0 there is epsilon transition to Q1, so that's why Q1 is included. But from Q1 again there is a transition from Q1 to Q2, that's why Q2 is also included in the E closure of Q0. So first E closure for Q0 we have written here. The next step is epsilon closure for Q1 is nothing but the Q1, Q2 because the state itself, and epsilon transition from Q1 to Q2 on E closure. Then E closure of Q2 is nothing but the Q2 because there is a no, see here on Q2 there is a no transition from epsilon here or here also there is a no transition on epsilon state, but as per the rule we have to write down the state itself. State itself comes in the E closure, so there is a no epsilon transition absolutely from Q2, but still we have to write the E closure of Q2 is equal to Q2 because it contains the self state itself, right? So this is the first step is over here. Now second, now obtain the delta dash transitions for each e-closure. For each e-closure means for this particular thing, for the second one, and for third one, what we have, for each e-closure, what we have to find out here? We have to find out the delta dash transitions. Means delta dash transition means which are nothing but our DFA transitions, which are nothing but our DFA transitions, or the transition which are in the resultant DFA, right? And one more thing we have to note it here that we have to always start with the start state. Always start. That's why it is marked as a red color here. Always let us start from the e-closure of start state. And with what is the start state? Q0. What is the one? What is the e-closure? E-closure of Q0 state? It is nothing but the Q0, Q1, Q2. So take this one and find out its delta transition. So it is very simple. Very simple. There is no critical part. There is no any mathematics. There is no any, one can say that any difficulties involved here. Simply step one, NFA with NFA with e-closure is given to you. You have to convert it into DFA. So first, just write down the e-closure of all the states 1, 2, 3. E-closure, you have written it, and then you have to take the first start state e-closure and find out its delta transition of the start state e-closure. Not the start state, but the e-closure of the start state. Right here, we are not finding out delta of Q0, but it is nothing but the delta of e-closure of Q0. Getting my point on? We are not finding out the delta transition of the start state, but it is nothing but the delta transition of the e-closure of the start state. Getting this point? So we are finding out the delta transition on each e-closure. So remember this. So next here, see, step 2. Let us call Q0, Q1, Q2 for simplicity, for convenience, unnecessarily writing, to avoid unnecessarily writing Q0, Q1, Q2 multiple number of times. What we have to do here, just rename it as a capital A. Just rename this Q0, Q1. There is no any significance, or there is no any rule involved here. You can name it capital A, capital B, capital C. You can name it P, capital P. Anything is there, but the purpose is that unnecessarily we have to write it down unnecessarily all the time. That is Q0, Q1, Q2. Here also Q0, Q1, Q2. So avoid writing this. So simply we are making it as capital A. And input is A, simple small a. So delta dash capital A is the state, that is this one, and A is nothing but your input. First take input alphabet A, e-closure of delta Q0, Q1, Q2, that is nothing but this one on A. Now split it, split the delta function, e-closure of delta Q0A, the delta Q1A, delta Q2A, and make their union. Make the union of all this transition, delta Q0A, delta Q1A, delta Q2. And you have to find out where the transition from Q0 on A goes, where the transition from Q1 on A goes, and where the transition from Q2 on A goes here. The answers are written here. So first Q0 on A is nothing but the phi. So there is no transition on input A from state Q0. That's why I written as a phi. Transition from Q1 on input A, it goes to Q1 itself. That's why it is written as a Q1. And transitions from state Q2 on input A go to Q1 itself. That's why it is written as a Q1. So you have to make the union phi, union Q1, union Q1. So it is nothing but your e-closure of Q1 itself. And what is the value of e-closure of Q1? It is nothing but Q1, Q2. See here, this is your new state generated, because in the given NFA you have is Q0, Q1, Q2. These are the only states are there, but this is the new state we are finding here. New state is being generated, so we are now calling it as a capital B. We are calling it as a capital B. Remember this point, right? So Q0, Q1, we are calling it as a capital B, as the new state is generated, because it is not available with the given NFA with epsilon closure. Now next, delta dash A, capital A comma B, means we have to find out the transitions of the Q0, Q1, Q0, Q1, Q2 on input B. So E closure delta Q0, Q1, Q2 on input B, that is equal to E closure delta Q0 comma B union. Again split it here. The same way, method is same, delta Q1 on B, delta Q2 on B. And the result or the answers you have to write here. Q0 on B input, it goes to Q0. Q1 on B, it does not go to anywhere. That's why I marks as a phi. And Q2 on B, it goes to Q0. Then you have to write down E closure of Q0, and E closure of Q0 is Q0, Q1, Q2. which is not a new state, and this is nothing but your state A. So this is not a new one. This is already A. We are finding out the transitions for A itself. So one new state we have got here, that is nothing but your Q1, Q2, and we are referring it as a B. So we have to find out the delta transitions for this newly generated state, right? Getting this point or not? So see here. Now delta dash B comma A equal to E closure delta Q1 Q2. Value of B is nothing but your Q1 Q2, and you have to again split it. E closure Q1 delta Q1 E closure delta E closure, or delta Q1 A union delta Q2 A. So value of Q1 is equal to Q1, and value of delta Q2 A is also Q1. So union Q1 is equal to Q1. So what is the value of E closure of Q1? That is nothing but your Q1 Q2, which is not a no new state. This is nothing but the state B itself. So no question of this. Now this B on B input, capital B state on input B, that is equal to E closure of delta Q1 Q2 on input B here. So Q1 on B and Q2 on B, we are making union. Answers are Q1 on B is nothing but phi. There is no transition on input B from state Q1, that's why written as a phi. But there is a transition on input B from state Q2 on Q0 states, that Q0 state. Therefore, E closure of Q0 is nothing but Q0, Q1, Q2. No new state is generated. This is nothing but your state A, which is already we have find out the transitions, right? So this is the case. Now, hence the transition functions and transition table for the resultant DFA, because no new states, no state is being generated. All the state we have find out the delta transitions for the all E closures, as well as the whatever with the newly generated states. All the transitions we have already find out. So write down the transition function just once. Delta A capital A comma A, delta capital A comma B, delta capital B comma A, and delta capital B comma B, that is equal to BA. That already we have solved it. And the transition table from these transition functions, we have to write like this. So A and B, right? A, B, that is nothing. These are the states. A, B. So this is nothing but A on A is go to B. Capital A on B go to capital A. Capital B on A go to B. Capital B, and capital B on B go to A. And the final DFA is drawn like this. Final DFA is drawn like this, right? So both the states are marked here as a final state. Now there may be question in your mind that why did both the states are marked as a final state? Now which is the final state in the given NFA? Given NFA, final state is your Q0, Q1, Q2. Q2 is your final state, right? Q2 is your final state, and Q2 is nothing but, and B is nothing but, what is your value of B? Q2 is your final state, and Q2 is nothing but, this is nothing but your B, and Q2, this B is nothing but your Q1, Q2. B is nothing but your Q1, Q2, and A is nothing but Q0, Q1, Q2. So Q2 is the final state. Q2 is the final state in the given NFA. So wherever there is appearance of Q2, all the states we are marking it as a final state. So this is final state. B is the become final state, and now Q2 appears here also in A also. That's why A is also marked as a final state. So both A and B now becomes the final state, right? And the DFA, it is drawn with the diagram capital A, capital B. So transitions, capital A on small a go to B, capital B on small b go to A, capital A on small b go to A itself, and capital B on small a go to B itself. This is your DFA. The final answer to the question ki convert the NFA with epsilon moves to the DFA, right? Now let us see the another example. Convert the given NFA with epsilon moves. Convert the given NFA with epsilon moves to its equivalent DFA. Again, Q0, Q1, Q2 states are given. See here, now the inputs are three inputs. 0 is one input, 1 is another input, and 2 is another input, and 2 epsilon transitions are there. And the Q2 is the final state, whereas the Q0 is the start state. So first step is to find out the E closure of each state. That is nothing but E closure of Q0 E closure of Q1, E closure of Q2, that is Q0, Q1, Q2, Q1, Q2, and Q2 itself. Now obtain the delta dash transitions for each E closures, that is Q0 E closure of Q0, E closure of Q1, and E closure of Q2 on each input, that is 0, 1, and 2. Here, how many inputs are there? See here, inputs are 3 inputs are given. That's why we have to find out all the transition on these 3 input. So let us start from E closure of the start state. So always start with the E closure of the start state. And what is the E closure of the start state? That is Q0, Q1, Q2. This is, you have to remember the important point. Always we have to start with the E closure of the start state, and we are calling it as we are referring it as a capital A. We just refer it as a capital A, right? So delta dash capital A on 0, that is equal to E closure delta Q0, Q1, Q2. A is nothing but your Q0, Q1, Q2 on input 0. Split it, delta transition Q0 on 0, union delta Q1 on 0, Q2 on 0, union delta Q2 on 0. So answers, we have to write it accordingly. So E closure of Q0, union phi, that is nothing but E closure of Q0. And E closure of Q0 is Q1, Q0, Q1, Q2, which is not the new state. This is the state A itself. It is the state A itself, right? Then A on 1, capital A on 1 input. So see here, epsilon closure of delta, that is Q0, Q1, Q2 on 1. E closure of delta, split it, Q0 on 1, union Q1 on 1, union Q2 on 1. E closure of phi, union Q1, union phi. E closure of Q1. And what is the E closure of Q1? It is Q1, Q2, and this is the new state. This is the new state, that is Q1, Q2, and we are calling it as a state B because this is not given in the NFA with epsilon moves. This new state is being generated, and we refer it as a B. And now we have to accordingly find out its delta transition on 3 inputs 0, 1, and 2. Now A, capital A on 2, input 2 is still there. So E closure of delta Q0, Q1, Q2 on 2. So E closure of delta Q02 union Q12 union Q2 2, that is equal to E closure of phi union Q2, and E closure of Q2 is nothing but your Q2 itself. So this is the again new state, or we can call, though it is not a new state, but we have to refer it as a C. We have to refer it as a C here, and for the C state also we have to find out the all the transitions on all this input, that is 0, 1, and 2, right? So thus we have obtained A delta dash A comma 0 is equal to capital A, delta dash A comma B equal to capital B, and delta dash A comma 2 equal to capital C. Means all the 3 transitions are there, and there are 3 states we have obtained here. This is nothing but the transition functions we have written here, right? Now take this capital B on 0, 1, and 2. So capital B on 0, E closure of delta Q1, Q2 on 0 input, Q1, Q2 on 0. So delta Q1 on 0 union delta Q2 on 0. Answers are phi. So E closure of phi is equal to phi. So delta dash B on 0 goes to phi, means there is no transition. Now delta B on 1 input is that is equal to E closure of delta Q1, Q2 on 1 input. So E closure delta Q1 on 1 union delta Q2 on 1, and answers are Q1 on 1 is equal to Q1 and delta Q2 on 1 is equal to phi. That's why E closure of Q1, and E closure of Q1 is nothing but your Q1, Q2, which is nothing but the state B, which is nothing but your state B, right? And we are already calculating the transition for this B state. And one more is remaining, that is B on 2 input. So E closure delta Q1, Q2 on 2 input, E closure delta Q1 on 2 union delta Q2 on 2. So E closure phi union Q2, that is equal to E closure of Q2, and Q2 itself, it is nothing but the state C. We have written it is as a C. Thus we have obtained, so write down just transition functions. Delta dash B on 0 input goes to phi, delta dash B on 1 input goes to capital B, and delta dash B on 2 goes to capital C. So these are all the transitions we have written for the state B on each input 0, 1, and 2, right? Now the thing remaining is C, and C is nothing but your Q2. So for this Q2, just solve it. Now delta dash C 0, that is equal to E closure of delta Q2 0 and delta dash Q2 0 is phi. So that's why it is a phi transition. Then delta dash C on 1, that is E closure of delta Q2 on 1, that is equal to E closure of phi. Again, it will get a phi value here. And delta dash C on 2, E closure of delta Q2 on 2. So it goes to Q2 itself, that is equal to C. That is equal to C. The sum, just sum it, delta dash C on 0 equal to phi, delta dash C on 1 is equal to phi, and delta dash C on 2 is equal to C itself, right? So summarize it, all all these transition, 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 transition, just put it in a transition table. So capital A, capital B, capital C on input 0, on input 1, and on input 2, A on 0 go to A on 1 go to capital B, A on 2 input go to capital C, capital B on 0 go to phi, no transition, capital B on 1 go to capital B, capital B on 2 go to capital C, capital C on 0, no transition, C on 1 also no transition, and capital C 2, it is a self loop, that is a C. Draw the DFA, final DFA like this. So all the states are marked as a final state because in the given NFA, Q2 is our final state. So Q2 is the final state, and Q2 is the final state. What is the Q2 is nothing but your C. So C is the final state, but this Q2 you have the appearance of A is nothing but your Q0, Q1, Q2. So Q2 appearance of Q2 in the A itself. That's why A is also marked as the final. So B is nothing but your Q1, Q2. So appearance of Q2 in B itself. That's why B is also marked as the final state, and C is the final state ultimately. So Q2 is the final states. So all the states become your final states. So A, B, and C, and accordingly, as per the transition table, the transition diagram of the final DFA is drawn here. So A on 0 goes to capital A. So this is the self transition. So capital A on 1 go to capital B. Yes, here, and capital A on 2 input go to C. So this is the transition here. So same case with B, and same for C. This is your final and the correct answer for the given question. Convert the NFA with epsilon moves to deterministic finite automata. See here. So there is a single transition, A on 0, A on 1. So there is no multiple transition from A on 1 input or on 0 input, right? So there is one transition on 0, one transition on 1, and one transition on 2. No multiple transition exists in the resultant DFA, right? Okay. Just move ahead. Third example is given also here. Convert the given NFA with epsilon to its equivalent DFA, right? So see here, Q0. So one example is given, Q0 epsilon goes to Q1, Q0 on epsilon goes to Q2. But here Q1 there is no epsilon on 0 go to Q3, Q2 on 1 input go to Q3, Q3 on 1 go to Q4, and Q4 is the final state. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states are there. Q1 being the start and Q4 is the final state. The first step is to find out the E closure of each state. So E closure of each states are written here. E closure of Q0 is nothing but your Q0, Q1, Q2, Q0 state itself. Then Q0 on epsilon goes to Q1. But from Q1 there is no epsilon transition. That's why you cannot write here Q3 or anything like this. Q0 on epsilon goes to Q2. That's why Q2 is written here. But from Q2 there is no epsilon transition, right? That's why it is not written here from Q to Q3. So it can reach only up to Q1 and Q2. So that's why E closure of Q0 is nothing but your Q0, Q1, Q2. E closure of Q1, the state itself, because there is no epsilon transition from Q1 as well as from Q2, from Q3, and from Q4. That's why the self state, the state itself, it is written in the E closure of that particular state, right? Now obtain the delta transitions for each E closure. Now see here one point, all the delta transitions. Suppose if you want to go to find out the delta transitions of this delta transition of Q1, E closure of Q1 is Q1, delta transition of Q1 on 0, or delta transition of Q1 on 1, but it is already given, it is already there. It is already there in given. So if you draw the transition table for this, so you will find here Q0 on 0 is given, Q1 on 1 is given, or Q2 0 is given, Q2 1 is given. Already this thing is available. But only the thing what we have to find out here, we have to start always with the start state. We have to always start with the start state, the E closure of the start state. And what is the E closure of the start state? That is nothing but your Q0, Q1, Q2. So Q0, Q1, Q2 is, which is not mentioned here. This state is not mentioned in the given DFA diagram. So let us start calculating the delta dash transition for Q0, Q1 and Q2. So see here. So we are calling it as a capital A. So capital A comma 0 equal to E closure of delta Q0, Q1, Q2 on 0. That is equal to E closure delta Q0 on 0, Q1 on 0, Q2 on 0, E closure phi. So the answer on Q0 on 0 is equal to phi. Q1 on 0 go to Q3 and Q2 on 0, no transition. That's why I mark as a phi. So E closure of Q3, and what is the E closure of Q3? It is a state itself, that is Q3. So we are now no new state, just call it as a B. Just we are referring it as a capital B, right? Now capital A on 1, E closure of delta Q0, Q1, Q2 on capital on simple 1. E closure of delta, split it Q0 on 1, union delta Q1 on 1, union delta Q2 on 1. So E closure of phi union Q3, E closure of Q3 is equal to Q3 itself, that is nothing but the state B. That is nothing but the state B. We have got one state B. So try for the try transitions or find out the transitions for capital B. So see here, delta dash B0 equal to E closure of delta Q30 equal to phi, that is nothing but phi. Then delta B on 1 is equal to delta Q3 on 1, and Q3 on 1 goes to Q4. Q3 on 1 goes to Q4, and E closure of Q4 is Q4, and we are calling it as a C. So we get here one state, or it is, though it is not a new state, but just for simplicity, make it as a capital C and find out the transitions for the capital C. So delta dash C on 0, E closure of Q4 on 0 is equal to phi. So and delta C on 1 equal to E closure delta Q4 on 1 goes to phi. So phi, there is no new state is being generated. So finally, just write down the transition table first. So transition table for the resultant DFA, capital A, capital B, and capital C on 0 and 1. Transitions are like this: capital A on 0 go to capital B, capital A on 1 go to capital B, capital B on 0 go to phi, no transition. B on 1 go to C, C on both 0 and 1 there is no transition, that's why written as a phi. And draw the final resultant DFA like this: capital A on 0 and 1 go to B, capital B on 1 go to C only, but C there is no transition at all from any of the inputs, right? This is your resultant or the final DFA diagram, right? Okay. One more example is given here for more understanding. Convert the given NFA with epsilon to its equivalent DFA. And see the example, see the transitions. Q0, there is a transition on A goes to Q0, Q1, right? Q0 on A go to Q0, Q0 on A go to Q1 itself. Now Q1 on B go to Q3, Q1 on epsilon go to Q2, Q2 on epsilon go to Q1, but Q2 on B go to Q2 itself, whereas Q3 on A go to Q0. So first step is write down the E closure of each state. E closure of Q0 is Q0 itself, because there is no epsilon transition from Q0. But yes, there is epsilon transitions from Q1. That's why it is Q1, Q2, because epsilon Q1 go to Q2 and epsilon Q2 go to Q2 itself. That's why both the E closures are same for Q1 and Q2. That is Q1 and Q1, Q2, Q1, Q2. These are the new states or new state Q1, Q2. E closure of Q3 is Q3 itself. So now we have to obtain the delta dash transitions for each E closure on input A and B and start with the start state. So as already we are mentioning that we have to start always with the E closure of the start state. And what is the E closure of start state? Q0. So let us call it as A. Let us call it as A E closure of Q0, that is equal to capital A, and start with the capital A. So see here, delta dash capital A on A is equal to E closure of delta Q0A. Q0A is equal to Q0 Q1, and E closure of Q. So see here, Q0 delta Q0A, yeah, Q0A, it goes to Q0 Q1. So here you have to split it, E closure. So E closure of Q0 union E closure of Q1. So remember this point. Huh? Here now you are making union of two E closures. So up till now this was not there in the earlier example, but here E closure, we are making their union of two E closures. So E closure of Q0 is nothing but Q0, and E closure of Q1 is nothing but your Q1, Q2, and final union we are getting here Q0, Q1, Q2, which is the new state, the state which is not present earlier, that is called as the state B. That is called as state B, right? Now capital A on small b, that is equal to E closure of delta Q0 on B. Q0 on B go to nowhere, so that is nothing but mark as a phi, and that is so delta, so answer is phi. Right, now take the B. Now consider the state B, that is Q0, Q1, Q2. So delta B comma A, that is equal to E closure of delta Q0, Q1, Q2 on A. So see here, so E closure delta Q0 on A, just split it up here, Q1 on A and Q2 on A, Q1 on A, Q2 on A. Answers are Q1 on A go to Q0, Q1 on A, sorry, Q0 on A go to Q0, Q1 on A go to phi, Q2 on A go to phi. So E closure of Q0, that is nothing but the Q0 itself, and that is the state A itself. Capital B on B. So transitions are like this. Capital B on B are nothing but your E closure of Q0B union Q1 on B delta Q2 on B. So phi union Q3 union Q2, that is E closure of Q3 union E closure of Q2. E closure of Q3 is nothing but your E closure of Q3 is Q3, and E closure of Q2 is nothing but your Q1 Q2, right? E closure of Q2 is Q1 Q2 and E closure of Q3 is Q3. So if we combine this, so we get here Q1 Q2 Q3, and this is the new state, and we are calling it as a state C. We are calling it as a state C here, right? Now consider the state C, that is Q1, Q2, Q3. So let us find out the delta dash for C on A input, E closure of delta Q1, Q2, Q3 on A. So E closure Q1 on A union delta Q2 on A union delta Q3 on A. So E closure of phi union Q0, that is equal to Q0 A state. Now delta C on B, that is nothing but E closure of delta Q1, Q2, Q3 on input B. So Q1 on B union Q2 on B union Q3 on B, that is nothing but your Q3 union Q2 union phi, that is E closure of Q2 union E closure of Q3, that is Q1, Q2, Q3, the state itself, that is nothing but the C state, right? So hence the transition table for the resultant DFA is, so this one A, B, C, and A, capital A on A goes to capital B, capital A on B goes nowhere, capital B on A, small a goes to capital A, capital B on small b goes to C, C on small a goes to A, and C on B goes to capital C. And the final DFA diagram we can draw here like this: capital A, capital B, and capital C, right? And these are the transitions written here. This is the transition, this is A on input A on input B, whereas B on A go to A, and C on A go to A itself. C on A go to A, right? And C on B go to B itself. One transition is remaining here, so C on B go to C itself, right? So this is the final DFA diagram for the given question. Okay, so I think the examples are over for this conversion. Now some homework part is given here. Two examples are given as a homework. Convert the following NFA with epsilon moves to DFA. So first transition table is given. So the states are P, Q, and R. This P is the start state, P, Q, and R are given, whereas R is the final state. The A, B, C inputs are there, and there is epsilon transition given phi, P, and Q. So this one example, this is an ENFA is given. This ENFA you have to convert into the DFA. This is one numerical or one example. And second example, in second example also the transition table is given. So inputs are P, Q, and R, same as above, but some changes are there. Epsilon transition, QR, A, B, C inputs are there, phi, QR, P, R, PQ, and here phi, 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 phi. So second example, these are the two examples you have to convert into the DFA conversion into the DFA transition table. Means it may happen that sometime they may give you the diagram in this format, say for example Q0, Q1 or Q3, and you need to convert to DFA, or sometime they may give in the form of your transition table, and transition table is given. Again, you have to start. The procedure is the same, no difference. We have to just find, first is nothing but the find out the E closure of all the states. So states P, what is the E closure of P, E closure of Q, E closure of R, find out their E closure. Then start with the start state, which is the start state. P is the start state. So start with the E closure of the start state or the initial state. Here also P is the start state. Start always with the E closure of the P. Whatever may be the E closure value of the P, just start finding out the delta transitions. And while finding the delta transition, if the new state encounter, you again mark it as a capital B and start finding its delta transitions, right? So that's all here. So very simple. There is no any difficulty, no any critical part involved here while converting your NFA with epsilon moves to the DFA, right? So course outcome. So in this particular session, we have learned the conversion of NFA with epsilon moves to the DFA, that is deterministic finite automata. The course outcome at to construct the finite state machine to solve the problems in computing. The reference book, always I'm recommending this, the reference standard reference book for the reference. So thank you. So let us stop here for the today's session.